K Bear Too Full. Probably saying that wrong. Let me know what that actually is, how that actually is pronounced in the comments. I really appreciate your thorough videos. My question is, how easy is it to get a CNC that's currently non-collectible status? What documents can I expect to send? Well, K Bear Too Full. That's a question, obviously. And I know it's the typical professional's cop out, right? Any professional you ask, lawyer, doctor, accountant, unless you have like all the facts in front of you and the whole case in front of you or the whole medical file in front of you with the patient in front of you, it's hard to say. And the answer to kind of a general question like this is really, it depends, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being super easy and 10 being super hard, getting a CNC status could be any of those. It could be 1 through 10, right? For, any, it's just, there's a range, right? But I'll give you kind of an example of a 1, okay? And I'll give you an example of a 10, at least, a 10 that I've experienced in recent memory. A 1 example of getting in CNC is if you have no assets and you've been a W-2 wage earner for years and you make, let's say, $20,000 a year in a high cost of living area and you have multiple dependents, children. Okay. That's pretty much a shoo-in for CNC status. Okay. I don't think ACS is even going to ask you for bank statements, right? They'll probably ask you for pay stubs, right, to verify your income. If you're that much of a shoo-in, they may just take the income you give them over the phone, say, yep, that looks like what she's consistently made for the past 5 years based on wage and income transcripts. Yep, this checks out. Yep, she claims those dependents on her tax return. And they might just send it up for approval and you'll get approval from the manager within a couple weeks. Okay, that's like a 1. It's like super easy CNC, no pushback, right? A 10, man, we've had to work through IRS appeals officers to get some of our clients into CNC. Okay, give an example of a recent 10. They're business owners for many years. They wound down the business. The business had left them with a significant amount of tax debt. Okay, and they had about $1 million in retirement accounts. Okay, their only income was Social Security. Okay. And we did an analysis of their estimated monthly living expenses versus their Social Security. And their monthly living expenses were higher than their Social Security. Their legitimate monthly income expenses per IRS rules was higher than their monthly Social Security benefit. Okay. These folks were in their early 60s. And the revenue, this was the revenue officer. Revenue officer said, if they're getting Social Security now to live, why don't they just liquidate their retirement accounts and pay us what they owe us, right? And they owed about $1 million too. Like, no. No. You see, because they have a gap here between the amount of Social Security they're getting, or the amount of Social Security they're getting and what they need to live. Per IRS rules, necessary living expenses. They're going to have to make up that gap for the next 25, 30, however much longer they live. We actually, the Social Security website, put the age and gender in for each spouse, said, look, he's looking to, if a male who's 65 years old, has an expected life expectancy of, 85 or something, or, for those, it's just with a wife, a female age 62 has an estimated life expectancy to 87. I don't know, whatever it is, right? And said, hey, look, they're going to have to live in their 20 some years off this by drawing down that $1 million retirement because their Social Security benefit is not covering it. So we basically so the RO didn't like that argument. We took it to appeals, right? They couldn't get equity out of their home either. So we took it to appeals and said, look, yeah, they have $1 million liquid right now in retirement accounts, but they are retired. They're on Social Security. They have like 1,000, 2,000, whatever the gap was that they need to make up every month. They're going to have to draw down their retirement accounts to live for the rest of their lives. And look, here's how long Social Security says they're expected to live, right? So, this was a hard-fought case, right? This was a revenue officer case. We had to go to appeals. We had to submit all kinds of documentation, right? We had to really substantiate those living expenses, bank statements, right? Their Social Security stuff, their retirement account stuff, prove that they couldn't get equity out of their home. I mean, they act for a lot of stuff, and they wanted it updated every time, right? We already submitted a batch of stuff to the RO. By the time it got to appeals, some of that stuff had been kind of dated. We had to get like new stuff, right? So that was this case was an inventory for like a year and a half. Okay, so I can't really, K-Bear Twofold, I can't really give you like one specific, answer to your question of how easy is it to get in CNC. It can be super easy, it can be super hard. What documents can you expect to send? Well, I would expect, might be none if it's like a really like shoo-in CNC case like what I described at the beginning of the video. But I would expect at least have your pay stubs and your last 3 months of bank statements handy. Okay, just in case they ask for them. If it's a more complex case, you're gonna need properties, and you have liquid assets, and you have IRAs, you have all the things, right? And cash value life insurance policies. Then that gets a little trickier, right? But if we're just talking about a simple to maybe average case, bank statements, pay stubs at the baseline. So anyway, I know this doesn't really answer whatever specific questions about your situation you have in mind, but I'm speaking broadly here because the question was albeit quite broad. Anyway, hope that's helpful for you CNC pursuers. And look, folks, if you owe the IRS for your state at least $10,000 of back taxes, or you have multiple years of unfiled tax returns, we got a lot of those clients coming in right now. You qualify for a free consultation with us here at Choice Tax Relief. So give us a call, 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or you can go to choicetaxrelief.com, fill out the form on the website, and we will reach out to you to schedule that free consultation. I have some other videos here on the left-hand side of the screen about IRS CNC status. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.